you're joining in 30 times 12 career series, 30 times 12 career series April edition, and it is navigating your career path. We have been on navigating your career path for a while now. It has been for a while. We've been on navigating your career path, and finally we are here. And we've had series of webinar on navigating your career path. Reasons because we know it can be a tussle for people to truly navigate their career path. This is really where I want to navigate. That is where I really want to navigate. So if you're joining in, please do share on your stories, share on your WhatsApp status. Just share. Just share so that others can join in. And let me know if you can hear me well and you can see me well. I know the network might be fluctuating, but do not let that distract you. Our guest will be coming in soon. But before our guest comes in, I definitely want to say a few things, because we're going to be touching on goal setting today. We're going to be touching on career transitioning. We're going to be touching in on career exploration. We're going to be touching in on job search strategies. We're going to be touching in on all of that. Like I said, if you're just joining, kindly share to your story, share to your WhatsApp status, even though this is recorded, right, and you have access to it. But it would be nice if people can, join this live and ask their questions and get to hear from our guest. So please kindly share. So before our guests come in, I really want us to share and be more than this. I would just like to talk about tips. I'd like to talk about tips in job search strategies. So because I get a lot of messages, Sunshine, I applied for this job, I applied for that job, thank you for joining Baba Asher, I applied for this job, they didn't pick me, they didn't pick that. I remember I was recruiting for a particular firm or a company, and I was supposed to recruit, and then people were supposed to send their CVs to me. Trust me, when I saw certain CVs, I was like, what is this? Some people actually just dumped the CV without a subject via mail. These are the things we need to watch out for when we're searching for jobs. Sincerely, you should not, number one tips, you should not in any way send a CV via mail without a subject. No, wrong. That's number one. Even still, number one, you have to send a subject and you have to send a cover letter. You have to market yourself. I know you might think, okay, you don't have the, which takes me to number two. You might not have the right number of experience, but still market yourself. I remember there was a lady that I was supposed to interview for a content creator. This lady, she said it was her first time applying for this kind of job. She didn't even have the number of experience required, but she really marketed herself, and I think she got the job. She marketed herself well, and the employer was able to say, no, this is really who I want. So most of the time, employers can send in years of experience that, oh, this is the number of experience I want. This is number of experience I want. Welcome, Fro Queen. Thank you for joining. Make sure to share on your story and share on your WhatsApp status. So it's not about the number of experience. Most of the time, a company might have a particular number of experience, but that should not limit you. What you should do personally, especially if it is your first time applying for something like that and you don't have experience, is to market yourself well. That is tip number two. Make sure to market yourself well. Make use of your body, your male body. Make use of it very, very well. Yes. And if you're private to know the kind of company you're applying to, do your background check. What is this company looking out for? What does this company want? Things you should ask yourself. What does this company want? What is this company into? And tailor your CV and your cover letter into what the company really wants. You can't just send your CV without doing a background check. Though I know that some companies don't actually put out their names. They don't. Most job posts don't put out the particular company. But if you're privileged to know the kind of company you're applying for, do the background check. There is no proper company website that doesn't have careers. There is no proper company website that doesn't have who we are, etc. I mean, you have Google, Google the company out, check them on IG, check them wherever platform, on LinkedIn. You can even go as far as chatting up someone that is working in the company at the moment, give you tips on how best to prepare for your interview or how best to apply for the job. You have the access on LinkedIn. Go on LinkedIn, check the company and the people working for the company. All of that is going to help you. And then number 3, which is going to be the second to the last tip I'm going to be giving, if you're applying to a company for the first time, don't be very careful to use just dear sir or dear ma. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm saying in Nigeria though. Be careful to use dear ma or dear sir. Even if a name is attached, don't be quick to use the person's first name. You can only use the person's first name after they've responded to you, you've done the interview, and maybe you're going for the second stage interview. Then you can use the person's first name. But preferably, it is good to use dear ma, dear sir. This is Nigeria. This is not UK. This is not US. This is not Canada. This is Nigeria. So some people are actually very sensitive when you're using their first name without prior relationship. You've not even related with them before. Be careful not to use just first name. Use dear ma, dear sir. Well, some other people use dear hiring manager, but I think I would still prefer using dear ma, dear sir to be on the safer side. So after first communication, second communication, then you can use the person's first name. And lastly, this is Nigeria. If you're applying to any job in Nigeria, be very careful that your contact details is included in your CV. So this is the last thing I'm saying before I introduce our guest, right? I remember well that I applied for a job. About a year ago, yeah, and then they had to send me a mail that my phone number was not the CV. Then I didn't see the need to put my phone number on CV. I mean, reach me via me. I don't like my phone numbers on CV because then I was looking for a job desperately, so I just put my CV everywhere. I didn't have the right knowledge, right? But then they had to tell me that if not that I knew someone in the company, they won't have even maybe called me up for an interview or anything because my phone number was not on the CV. So do well to put your phone number in CV. Some human resource managers are very lazy. They don't want to go through the route of sending you mails because they have so many people they are dealing with, so many CVs they are dealing with. So most of them will just call you right up. So make sure that your phone number is always included in your CV. Your LinkedIn profile is included in your CV, and your email is included in your CV. Okay, so having said that, I would like us to really share. Can you send in your best emojis, please? I just want to be sure that people are on because the numbers keep fluctuating. I just want to be sure people are really on here. The numbers keep fluctuating. So please let me know that you're here. Let me know that you are here. Thank you for joining, watching. Thank you for joining, Ezra. Thank you for joining, Frequent. Thank you for dropping smileys. Can you just drop smileys? Let me know that you're listening to me. I really don't want this. All right, Frequent. I really don't want this amount of people watching before we invite our guest. I really want this number to go up, sincerely. My guest is a very special person, and I don't want him starting all over again when people are joining in. Thank you, Harmony. So I really want us to share, and then if you perhaps have people that you really want them to be on this live, you can share it to their DMs personally. So while we are doing that, I would like to give a brief introduction of our guest. Are we ready? I'm so excited to be on this live, especially with our guest. I'm so excited that he agreed to join this live. Is someone very special to me. So Olamide is a result-driven professional with a foundation in engineering, additional certifications in accounting and finance, and a diverse skill set that includes sales, data analytics, strategic execution, and project management. With a relentless focus on operational efficiency, Olamide excels in spearheading and executing strategic initiatives. His expertise lies in project management, utilizing his knowledge of Lean Six Sigma principles to drive optimization. He is proficient in data analytics. He leverages data-driven insights to inform decision making and fuel growth. He is known for his exceptional interpersonal skills and reliability, and that is no other than Olamide Oladele. Now, before I invite him to this live, before it comes up, one of the major reasons why I was spurred to invite him for this live is because he's someone that is open, right? If you're close to him, anyways, and he really shared some of his processes with me at some point, and I was like, great, I would really love people to learn from Mr. Olamide. I really want people to learn from him, learn from his processes, learn basically the 4 parts I said we were going to be talking about: how he set his goals, how he was able to navigate this career path. Thank you for joining in, Nicholas. I was able to transition. Did he, like, when I was reading about his bio now, you saw he had 1 or 2 into finance. I was able to finally go for project management, and I was able to explore, and I was able to get his job. So I was sharing with a friend that I don't know why, but the amount of guys I had, the amount maybe because it was part of our guest. I really do not know why that is. So we are waiting for him to join this live, right? I'm sure we'll be joining this live very shortly. So while we are waiting for him, can you I think there is a clap smiley on our chat box. Can we welcome Olamide Oladele as we wait? We are waiting for him to join. Let's just welcome him. Okay, we can see your back camera.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, but we can't see you.
I'm trying to switch my camera.
Okay, we can wait when you fix that.
Just give me a minute.
All right, guys, let us welcome him. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you. Let us welcome him. I think he's having issues with maybe his network and trying to set up. Let's give him a little bit time. I'm sure he's going to join. He's going to join soon. Let us welcome him, and let us share also, so that every other person can join this live.
Okay.
Hi. Can we put our hands together? Let us share. I want our hands. I want our accolades right now. You're welcome, boss. You're welcome, sir. It's good to have you here. Yeah, finally, Ezra is saying finally. Finally, we're seeing his handsome face. It's good to have you. But we can't hear you. I can't hear you. Am I the only one? I can't hear you. Yes, I can hear you now.
I don't think I need to.
Okay.
Ezra is my boss, please. I just
Okay.
okay. Good evening. Good evening,
Good
everybody.
evening. You're welcome. You're welcome to this live, sir. Good evening. It's good to see you. Thank you for honoring our invitation.
It's my pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here. And for those people who are not used to how to take my camera and all the things, the first chance I project. This is my first time when I feel like please forgive me. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so I did a brief introduction of who you were. I didn't know if you heard that.
I
Okay.
had
All right. And I was informing our audience the reason why I really, really loved the fact that you honored this invitation. The fact that you're not someone that hides your processes from people, how you're willing to tell us about how you set your goals into is how you eventually delve into this career path and all. So you have the floor, sir. It's good to have you here.
Okay, thank you very much, Sunshine. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I can see a few of my friends joining, and like I said, Ezra is my organ. So thank you guys for joining. Okay, so basically, I understand that what I'm supposed to do was just talk about my career, how I've been able to move from how I started and where I am now, and so I'll just I don't want to sound like a testimony, but I'm just going to talk about everything since I finished school, even while I was in school, and after that. So, Sunshine already did some bit of introduction. My name is Olamide. Currently, I currently freelance. I work as a program manager with Microsoft 365 Advanced Engineering team. That sounds like big. I'm a program manager. And okay, so how did I get here? Let me just go back a few years. And so while I was in school, in secondary school, to study mechanical engineering, went to Lautech. That's where I met Sunshine, I guess. Went to the same school.
Yeah.
But, so ever since I was in school, I knew that I wanted to try to be better, just try to do something apart from going to school. So I remember then I approached one of my big brother. We were staying in the same hostel, right? Thank you, Dennis. We were staying in the same hostel. So I was like, oh, but I know that you do a lot of stuff around web development and web design. This was, I think, 2010, 2011-ish. And then web design, web development was like, so, and like, really, this is what it would take. These are times we would have our classes. So the first time we were supposed to start, he just looked at me and he said, "Well, you're in mechanical engineering now. What do you want to use my web development for?" I just told him I wanted to learn it. I just wanted to learn something like that time, apart from going to school and shop. I don't have anything I'm doing. So I was like, okay, he's going to introduce me to his friend that is in mechanical engineering, and the guy was graduating at the time. It's me maybe to my field. So I met a young man then, his name is Paul, and he was going to organize a training. That this kind of stuff is popular in Lautech. I don't know if they do it anymore or in other. When guys are graduating, they don't do stuff. So the name of software is called SolidWorks. And it's basically a 3D design and modeling tool. It's like AutoCAD. AutoCAD is the popular version.
Okay.
So I learned how to use SolidWorks, and in school, I started doing that for guys that were having their project, final project, master's project, and I was helping people design their project work. You know, it's just people now. And also, I'm driving. I'm driving at some point, and
Okay.
also, yeah, we were church boys, right? And I used to take tutorials in my fellowship in school. So my pastor's wife also saw me one day while I was teaching tutorials. I think MTH 101. And she was like, she would like me to come and start teaching their kids at home. So I started taking home lessons at that time too. So when I finished from school, I was taking home lessons and I was doing works, right? And after school, NYC, I was still doing home lesson and extra lesson in the school that I was attached to. But after NYC, I go back and decided to get a job. So I started applying for jobs, right? And I consider myself to be at least to be quite smart. So usually ace it, and then we'll get to the interviews, and the next thing we will get to be unfortunately right. Some interviews were so bad that right there and then actually like we know that this one don't work for them. So then I started like I had to it was like a rude awakening for me. I'd learned SolidWorks so that after school I would start doing something. But the picture I had when I was in school and what I was facing after school was two completely different realities. there was no organization that I knew at the time that was looking for somebody that knew how to use SolidWorks. And I was no longer in the school environment where I would just be able to work on their projects and all of that. And so the only thing that I knew how to do was teach, right? So I approached somebody in church and I told her that I know you are a proprietress, right? Please, if you are looking for a teacher in your school while I'm trying to get a job, I wouldn't mind. I would, please, if it's fine, I can come and apply if you guys have any open position. So she said fine. She told me when to come to our school. And then when I got to our school, it's a command school, like school, all the schools in Bad. So I thought that it was a secondary school, not knowing that it was a primary school. So when I told me that our school is primary, not secondary, I was like, that was nothing that I don't want again. I was like, no problem, no. So when I got there, the book, I gave her my phone, she was like, she doesn't need all that. Not at this concern, I'm overqualified to come and teach in a primary school. But it's something that I wouldn't mind. If fine with it, at least I would be a class teacher for I think primary 5 at the time, or primary 4. And I would also teach them computer studies. They had one computer room, so I would show the students, this is a VDU, this is CPU, just normal thing, right? And
Okay.
so I started with that, teaching in the school while I was actively trying to apply for other opportunities. And so that was how it started. And I took background just to say something. And I would have my notes just by my side here. And one of the things that I've discovered, because I have a lot of people around me that just finished from school, and some people that are probably they finished for a while and maybe they're out of job. And I personally had a face a great people are holding it. And that's why I did that background. I know that there are very no people that say, oh no, I'm not going, I can't take this job, I can't do this, I can't do that. But
Okay.
to be very fair and frank, it's always better to start from somewhere. And this is why. No matter what you are doing, or no matter how low the job is, it's like a platform. It gives you an avenue to network with other human beings. And why is that important? It's important because without actually relating with people, you wouldn't be aware of opportunities that are available around you. It sounds like motivational talk, but it is the simple truth. And I would give personal examples of how this has helped me. Now, back to my story. So I started, short long story short, and actually I got, if someone sent to me to link to apply to Access Bank, they had this graduate training program. I'd done a lot of interviews around engineering, mechanical engineering, and I had to like tell myself that, guy, okay, I don't think you are very sound in engineering. Let's not lie to ourselves. So
Okay.
graduate training applications. I stopped applying for engineering roles. So I was looking for positions where they would train me and then I'll be able to function in any capacity. So Access Bank came in, I think to exam, I think there were about 3 levels. And such I was getting from 65 joined. And she was talking about Google, do research and all of that. During my Access Bank interview, first level, I was asked the name of the CBN governor at the time, and I told them that I didn't know. The people on the panel looked at me, and one of the man on the panel, when you see bank staff, you can probably guess who the most senior person. That panel, I'm sure he was the most senior person. It was like actually really irritated. I guess the other lady was trying to help me. She asked, so who is the name of Access Bank MD? So I mentioned the name of Access Bank MD. I mentioned the name of 2 directors. I was like, of course, he has gone online to do that. And I responded to him that, yes, I think that was what I was supposed to do. Like, I have an interview, I'm supposed to go and read about the company.
Right.
So that was how I kind of like, because the man was irritated because apparently they had asked that question a couple of times and most of us did not get it. And it was like, why would you come for a bank interview and you not know the name of the CBN governor? Now thinking about it, to be honest, I think it was He was being unprepared. Anyways, I got into Access Bank. My final interview was quite was, was gist. And so I got into this office. She's a group head, business banking in Access Bank, and opened my CV, started asking me some questions. And I believe so in interviews personally, if I know something, I'll carry it. If I don't know something, I've learned that even if I'm trying to say, "Oh, I'm not so sure," I would try to give an example. Except I have zero clue about what you're talking about, and I'll tell you because it could possibly mean that I'm not fit for the role, and this thing is not do or die. Like people need to do that. You can't talk to everything about what you're looking for. It's just the truth because not every organization you wouldn't be a good fit for every organization, and you wouldn't be a good fit for every role. The earlier you start understanding, the better it is because it will reduce the desperation. Like people go into interview desperate, and interviewers they can smell it. Like when you see someone that is very desperate for the role, sometimes, to be very honest, most times it is more irritating than it is motivating. To be very honest, like you can see that it's different when you see that someone is trying to give their all than someone being overly desperate because that's when they
Exactly.
conditions that normally you could not say yes to. Sometimes they can say that you're desperate, right? They'll just keep doing that, those sounds, oh yes, no problem. Oh yes, no problem. Then we'll start the job and complain to be the order of the day. Back to my life story. And one of the last questions she asked me was, would you mind working anywhere? And I just smiled and told the woman that, "Ma, I'm not married though. My bags are packed. If you tell me to go to any part of the country today, I'm okay with it. I'm just trying to start live and I'm not tied to anything or anywhere right now." She smiled and she asked, "Do you have any question for us?" I just asked her looking that, "Oh, when can I resume?" She laughed and said, "Don't worry, it's going to be soon." The next thing, we got into the training school, finished training school, and I was deployed to marketing. Now, I know a lot of people have phobias for sales and marketing. But when I was deployed to marketing, to be very honest, I didn't mind. Because I was starting out, I was grateful, like, oh, finally I have a job. And then when I go to the branch, there was nothing. The team I was supposed to be part of, that particular branch, there was nothing. When I got to the branch on the Monday morning, the branch manager looked at me and said, "Oh, okay, personal bank." I said yes. It was like, "Only you?" I said yes. "And you mentioned the name of the zone head. She sent you here." I said yes. Said, "Okay, fine." He took me upstairs, showed me an empty table, said, "Welcome." It was an empty table, like there was nothing. Because that particular team did not had stopped being operational in that branch. So technically I had to start the team. Even sales events, there were about 4, 5 of them. And we started. Fine. We had appraisals at the end of the day. Most of us had a B. A few of us got an A. I had a B. And I was like, okay, I've learned. Probably I'm going to get an A. I know the things to do better, right? But in training school, I tried to do something. So I spoke with some of our facilitators and I told them that I don't know anything in accounting or finance or banking, but all through this curriculum, the only part that is kind of interesting to me is finance. Finance to me makes more sense than accounting. Accounting looks like a lot of manipulation, but the way my brain sees it, finance is more straightforward. And I spoke with one of the facilitators. If I want like develop myself and work on a few certifications, what can I do? He gave me some pointers, told me to do ACCA, gave me reasons why I should do ACCA. And immediately I got into the bank, started writing because I looked at some people that have been in my role for a couple of years. And to be honest, at the time, I don't want to be them in a couple of years. So I was just trying to like give myself more option and what's it called? Give myself better option, so to speak. Let me try
Okay.
to what I'm looking at the time. And then, cut long story short, Access Bank merged with Diamond, which was I was an Access Bank merged with Diamond, and a lot of things changed about our processes, and most of us were new. So it was that was like the year after we got into the system. So it was a bit. I don't want to be bold, but the change was a lot. Was a lot, right? And without really, like, I started asking myself questions that do I really want to do this? And when I started, I even got a book. Like, I think it was Brian Tracy. Like, before we go out to talk to people, we go on calls and all of that. I didn't mind. I just wanted to like do well. This is what I'm doing. Let me do my best, right? But after a while, and the way the bank and everything was going, I knew that no, I don't want to be like I don't want to be like that person. It's fine, but it's not what I want to do in the long run. So I started, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And I want to try to like make it a bit clear because I think I was trying to talk to people that were trying to pivot and all of that. I didn't know what I wanted to go into, but I knew that I didn't want to like, do this for long. So a few of my one of my friends back then had left marketing for data analytics in the same bank. So I started talking to him and okay. And time and chance also I got nominated for a training in the bank to learn data analytics. Data
Sorry. So you said you got nominated.
yes, to go on a training in the bank. Like they just sent us EDX link, like
Okay.
coupon to take some online course. So tomorrow I don't know how I got that link because not everybody got it. Just a few of us got it.
Wow.
I don't know how that was used. I don't know. But that kind of gave me some kind of hint into okay, I prepared to do what I prepared to do what internet right? And one of my elder brother friend that was in UK also sent a link to my elder brother. He had paid for um a one of his learning time, I think it's learning or something. I can't remember the name. So he sent it to his own younger brother and sent it to my elder brother to send to me too, saying that that interested that he has access to the platform, I can take any course. So that's why I started learning data analytics. When I started taking the year, we had time, and I started just learning how to use Excel better, started learning Power BI, learning SQL, and yes, Italian Data Academy, and they came to do a training in Port Harcourt. So I did the Italian course also, and I started like aiming and myself with skills that would actually help me if I need to pivot. And to the extent that was a little confident that maybe beginner level I can do some analytics. And even at my level, then if we have any regional meeting for my region, usually we go trying to do report it either myself or my friend Ebenezer. So little by little, I was trying to just practice those things. And the chance, like I said, time and chance. The bank said, okay, internal vacancy, if you want to do certain role. Data analytics was one of the roles, right? And what the bank does is if they want to recruit into some teams, before they open it up to outsiders, they will open it up inside. It's called internal vacancy. So you can move from inside the institution. However, you apply and you take interviews at like proper interviews. So we
Wow.
wrote a like it was tough. And then I had interview. I remember that the day I had that interview, like we went out for market, I was in the sun. Like I had to go to barber shop on Artillery Road in Port Harcourt. I just begged the guy, please, can I just sit down here for 30 minutes? So I was like, that was where I had that interview. And the man was like, it was short notice, like I'd left the branch before I saw the email. And I told the guy that I'm sorry, like I got the email late. He said, no, it's fine. That he understands that. When he saw the email, he was shocked that it's a short notice. That right thing, I think he was that interview and it was fine. And then I moved to data analytics. Now, this is why I was talking about trying to do something and networking. Now, this is what I learned when I moved to data analytics, and this is what I learned. I made the switch in 2020 December, and I think it was okay. And this is what I've learned when I talked about that. When I said I had a case about people doing everything,
Okay.
a case against. Now, exposure that and the kind of information that I've gotten access to, it's a lot different. It's on a different level. Imagine someone sitting at home. Yes, you have internet, you can surf and all of that, but it's different from meeting people. Now I'm just going to fast forward to how I got the current role. How did I leave data analytics to doing strategy and special projects? My regional manager, while I was in Port Harcourt, we left the bank, got a loan, and one day she called me and said, uh, I asked last night I told you, okay. So she called me and said, would you like to make a switch? I'm like, okay. What do you she said, I probably don't know the role, but she thinks I'll be a good fit. Okay. Send me a CV. To be honest, I didn't send the CV at first. She called me back the second time, sent my CV. And while I was having this interview, I didn't know when I was going to before. And it has happened like 2 times. Now, I think I had the KPI in the interview and I didn't know what the role was. But I asked them on the call that this is my skill set, this is what I've done, this is what I believe I can do. But what are people looking for? Right? So
Yeah.
now when I got this new role, this like when I moved to strategy, it was really far. It was somebody that I had worked with. And even when I left my previous role, she wasn't happy because she did a lot of things to make sure that I did not move to the company. What she did that was very perfect. Like when I left, she became like at the time I was leaving, she had become a prayer point. But she wasn't going to let me go. So I thought, and I was too close to burning that bridge. Like I had left my branch, I was driving to our branch to just enter office and say, "Ma, are you after my life? Like if I was your child, I'll be very honest, like if I was your son, would you not want me to make this move?" But I spoke to one of our bosses then and she was like, "No, like you don't do that. The corporate world is so small." So when I see people fighting their bosses, I just laugh. So I got to our office like I was begging her. I was begging her for something that I did not do. Like I was begging her, like, "Man, this is how we keep." Because she was like, I didn't inform her. I went behind her back to tell the bank I wanted to move. I said, "Man, no, there was a vacancy." I showed her the email. I applied like everybody else. So, like, basically, most times, the people that currently work with, most times they are like the ladders that would kind of either speak for you or say something that would become like a hint into what you want to do.
Yeah.
When people
True.
it sounds like Laspard, Maguire, and all of that, but to be honest, that is how it works. Now, this currently, how did I get it? I woke up one day and I was like, okay, I like what I do. 3 months into what I was doing at the time. 3 months into the week, I got a message for the recruiter. Oh, I'm looking for a good. Oh, I'm sorry, I just got the job and I like it. I'm not interested. That's what I told you. Because at the time, I really liked what I was doing. Like I was wearing suits, I was in strategy execution, I was close to the CEO. Like anything that was going to happen in the organization, I would like we would plan and execute. That was my job. So it made sense, right? But at some point I felt I don't want to be a local champion. Like I want to be able to compete like at the global level. So by
More
the time
like drawing for more.
most of my friends were traveling out. Yes. And I was like, okay, I don't want to travel. But even staying back here, I don't want to be behind. I don't just want to be in good boys. Like, I want to be able to interview for an organization and interview with guys from every other part of the world and still do well and like be at par, even if maybe I will not be above, but at least I should be able to compete fairly. So when I was back bank, I started doing ACCA. When I moved to my other job, I wrote an exam, Prince 2, a project management exam. And then I also did Green Belt, that's Lean Six Sigma. It's for process efficiency and all of that. And when I just and then why I was doing that, one day I went on LinkedIn and I searched on LinkedIn. You can use filters, right? So I filtered for project management, program management, anything that in that field. And I chose InterSwitch, I chose Microsoft, I chose Google, like, and it brought out a list of a lot of people
Right.
that were I was looking for. And I started sending them messages. Like I did this for days. Hi, I'm so. This is what I do. This is who I am. I hope to be able to do this one day. I don't mind to connect with you. Probably, I don't like. I was not even asking for something, but by connecting with you, at least maybe I'll start learning. But sometimes I'll tailor the message depending on who I'm texting. And I saw someone, his name is Martin, and I saw that he finished from Lautech, and I edited the message I sent to him. Oh, I also finished from Lautech, and this and this and this and this. And I was like, oh, chief, and all of that. And he was like, oh, no problem. Let's talk one of these days. And then we had a call. I told him about what I was doing, what I was looking at, and he said, oh, his own organization. It's majorly for IT guys, like Microsoft 365 guys.
Okay.
But if you have anything that fits my skill set, always reach out. And then he had a project, he wanted to work on a project management. And called them about it. So, fine, we worked on the project together. And the project was even recognized later. Like, it was good work.
Wow.
Then one day, somebody made a post on LinkedIn saying, I'm recruiting for social and so. And his friend sent that post to me. Back to my point about not doing anything. The guy that sent me that post, finished from Lautech also, is a friend of a friend. When he sent the screenshot to me, I really wasn't interested, but I knew that the name of the person, Nuri Demisi Lopez, is Microsoft. He is Martin's boss. Because I worked with Martin and I joined some of his calls, he had a call like this that I joined. And he was a call with people. So I just sent the screenshot to Martin to say, hey boss, what do you think? And so Martin went on the LinkedIn post and wrote my name. And he messaged me like a message Nuri. So I just messaged him, hi Nuri, I'm so this is who I am. And I didn't get any response. I was like, okay, Nuri is airing me. He's a big man, he wants Microsoft, he's very busy. Then we had this abuse. After a while, I got him. As at that time, as far as I know, right, I was the only one in that system that had 4 tickets, like 4 Microsoft 365 skill sets. And I started as an operations manager, and today I'm a program manager. Now I believe I have talked too much, but there are certain points that most times, guys, people don't care about what they are doing at the moment, and they just want to jump. Usually, what you are doing now is like going forward to that place that you want to go to.
True.
It is the law of faithfulness, right? If you are not faithful in the one that you are doing, see, it's like this. The system of this world, and I'm not preaching. Talk to people that are doing well in their field, and this is what they will tell you. And I don't consider myself to be a top person in my field. I'm really learning, and I'm following a lot of people. But when I talk to those guys, you see how much they put into organization that is not theirs. So when you see where they have gotten to, you will know that it is not fluke. And people that get in higher positions by fluke, they don't laugh. Because those higher positions require a lot. This program manager role, I think that was what we talked about the day we spoke. When I was talking about how people are not just serious, I'm sorry, but I feel like
please be free. Be free. Be free to say it. It's very important.
I consider myself to be a very lazy person. Like I don't like to stress. But when we need to work, let's work. Now, I had done the interview, right? I had a call with the people I was going to work with for them to just show me the task that I will help them with, right? So I was not prepared for an interview. So I just joined the call, and the next thing I saw was, oh yes, Oladele, I know that we're supposed to discuss what you would help us with. But if you don't mind, can you just tell us a bit about yourself again? I was like, wow. So is this an interview? And usually I have like 3 lines that I would use. I'll start from here. I'll say a few things, get to this point, say a few things, get to this point. But I wasn't prepared. And the woman was like, okay, she's white, she's in the US. I know that I was not convinced, and like she was not convinced. Like I knew. You know when you're seeing somebody's face? So I'm like, okay, so is this how I will lose this opportunity? And she was like, can you just show me some of the things that you have done recently. So I just brought out one of the reports that we usually present week on week. And I showed that I presented the report. I was like, okay, wow, this makes sense. Oh, you said you've done some bit of data analytics. I said yes. She just brought out a Power BI report. I don't think I've seen. There are some of my Access Bank friends. One of them, Anthony Johnson, I think was started Access Bank. Is a friend. All the reports I've seen in my life, I have not seen any reports that is as complicated as that report. So like pressure, she knows she's putting me on the spot, but I could just talk her through this report. Anything that I can understand. To be very honest, I was lost. But I was like, not today we don't need big Power BI reports. Now, at all, I wish I say something. So I looked at the report, I saw it on the table is moving out. My please, can you please expand that table? Oh, so from this table I can see this. I picked a card from this, I can see this, from this I can see this. And I was looking at her face, and that was what thought that so-called interview. Because and that was when I sensed that, see, to be very honest, where you are now, if you don't do it well or do it with your heart, when you get to that place that you think you want to go to, you will probably
Still
fall.
not doing
But
well.
you need to get there, you really will last. So I think I've exhausted things I want to talk about, to be honest. I can keep on going like this, but I know I'm out of time. So thank you very much, Sunshine. And I hope
Thank you so much. Thank you, Olamide. Thank you for sharing with us all of this. If you have questions, now is the best time to ask. Our host and our guest, rather, is still here. If you have questions, don't worry, just type it in. We're going to take the
talk
questions.
some of my friends, please. Yasmina, Dennis, Ezra, Anthony. I'm sorry, I can't really see the names. I'm just seeing them as they join,
Yeah.
right? So
And
I think I can
hi,
do my
everywhere. Okay. One of the things I'm just going to outline, one of the things I'm going to ask certain questions also from one of the things you said. First, you had a skill. The first thing that came out for me or stood with me was the fact that you said you had a skill. And the funny thing is, the first skill you had that paved way for you was teaching. And you said that it was something you were already doing or engaged in when you were like in school, when you were like in the university. So that's to tell me that for people that are still in school and you don't have anything doing, no, I don't think I can. I don't want to switch this up. If you don't have anything doing, like you don't even know how to do anything, it is the best time to get a skill. No matter how little that skill is, it's definitely going to pay you. As a matter of fact, if you even want to start your business along the line, you want to go into maybe cloth making, fashion designing, or shoemaking, or photography, there should be a side skill that you can do. Maybe graphic designing, maybe even event planning. Because I don't know, I don't know. Am I speaking someone's like, because the economy now, you can't just stay on one thing.
You are very right, right. And in interviews, even for entry level roles, people want to see, have you done, like, what have you ever done before? Like, is there anything you have done for your life? Like, I'm serious. Like, that's what people are looking out for. Because if you've been able to, even if it is an NGO that you worked with, and you guys had a program in school, and you did 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you were part of those people that did, they know that at the very least, you know how to relate with people. At the very least, you're going to have some kind of interpersonal skills. At the very
Yeah,
least, you're going to manage time management. At least they know that you will not be an outright disaster if they allow you into their space.
true. Yeah, that's one of the things that really stood out for me. One of the things you said, and another thing is networking. I cannot overemphasize this. You know, I said to myself this year that sunshine, I'm definitely going to be intentional about networking. And when I mean networking, I don't mean just going to parties, just going to clubs, or just going to restaurants and all of that. Meeting the right set of people. And there's something I've realized, Salamide, is if you really like, let me take myself for example. If I want to meet someone like Ibuko Awoshika, because I really love her, and I don't grow myself to be someone that can have a proper conversation with her when I meet her, there's no way we can be close. Because Now, today, if I should meet Ibukwa Awosika, what am I going to say to her? Am I just going to say, hello, ma, and I'm going to put my 2 knees on the floor and do all of that? No. I've learned that people are attracted and electro. I don't want to say the wrong word. Is it electrocuted to value? There is something
Okay.
of value that I definitely have to offer her.
Yes, and most times, sometimes too, for those people, it's about the kind of questions that you ask. So,
Yeah.
for example, on my birthday 2020, I think, yes, in Port Harcourt, I took my team out. You know, I told you when I started, I didn't have a team, right? So I took my team out, Chicken Republic. It was my birthday, they were disturbing me, buy something for us. So we went to Chicken Republic, I went, you guys show. And I used to attend House on the Rock, Port Harcourt. And House on the Rock Pastor Larry Oluseye entered. And I just saw that
My
person.
church.
Like, to be very honest, I froze. I did not know what to say or what to do. I'm being very honest. The only thing I could just mutter was, and pastor was teaching about honor giving that month. And I was like, sir, I attend House on the Rock. It's my birthday today. Do you mind me just putting the gift? That was the only thing I could say. Pastor was like, no. I said, sir, you've been teaching us honor and giving. No, it's my birthday. Just allow me. Okay, fine. Then he bought chicken pie, I think, and the drink and left. I knew that was not what he wanted to buy, but let me not chase this guy. And I think I messaged some of my mentors that day that I don't want this to ever happen to me again. Like, this is somebody that I've probably been imagining. And I'm using this example because it could be anybody for you. But when you meet this person, if you don't jam, maybe you went to a gala night or a dinner and you meet this person in an elevator. That's why you talk about elevator speech and all of that. Really, what would you say? If you have not practiced it, I promise you will know what is called a sexy present when you meet them. You will freeze. You will not be able to say anything.
You're right. You're very right. I remember, okay, it's not, I don't really look up to this person. I think she just entertained me. I met Adeswa. He told me, it was embarrassing. I literally froze because I didn't even know what to say to her. Honestly, I didn't know what to say to her. I just said hi, and then we just walked past. But I feel like, okay, maybe for her it's because I mean I'm not into anything entertainment. I don't really look up to her in anything of sort. But sincerely, till now, I have been preparing certain questions to people like Ibukwa Washika, to people like people that I really look up to. I listed their names and I have questions for them, including my pastor Paul Farasi. Like, if I get to have a one-on-one discussion with him, I have questions because I ask questions a lot. It's one thing that even people close to me complain about, and I think it's more like something I really love doing. I love asking questions. How did you get here? All of that. So I feel like most of the time, like everything that has been disclosed, you yourself, if you really want to meet people of value, you need to add value to yourself. The reason why I really wish Olamide was able to get to where he is now is because he has added value to himself. And I'm sure that this is not even the end for him. He's still growing. He has definitely, so this is something we're supposed to be taking in. Thank you, Sharon. We're supposed to be adding value. And value is not something, it's not a day work. It is something that comes gradually with the little things you're learning. Let me take Mr. Olamide for example now. From teaching to working in Access Bank, then to working in another other firm, to networking and meeting someone else. All of that is adding value. It's just you being you being open-minded to what comes to you. Open-minded to everything. Like I remember I'm going to share this and I'm going to ask him a question. There was a particular company, and I'm not going to mention it. There was a particular company I joined. I was when I was working with that company, I really didn't have a life. I felt I didn't have a life again because they were draining life out of me. I was working back to back. And to make matters worse, I was having low performance. And I was working at some point I really broke down to cry. Like I feel like I'm doing everything. Like I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then they'll still come to me, low performance. And then like, okay, what? there was a time I needed to ask, what is the actual performance? So at least I can know what I can work on, what I can. I'm not going to tell you the rest of the story, but one thing I can say is now this present company that I have, I mean, I'm really, really enjoying it. But I could take one or two things from the present company. Everything that I'm doing right now in my company as an HR personnel is because of the things that I've seen in my previous company. Do I really want to go back to my previous company? Capital letter, no. It is a no. But definitely, I was able to pinpoint, I was able to, irrespective of the situation, negative situation around me, I was able to still add a little bit of value to myself that these people, no way, I'm not going to leave empty handed. I'm going to squeeze juice out of this company before leaving this company. So I don't think I'm seeing any question here. Thank you so much, everybody. So I'm just going to ask so allow me one question. Talking of being intentional, like one of the things I saw with you, sir, is you were intentional with the things you were doing. You were more like a go-getter. Like I'm going to get. What would you say to people? Two questions in one. What would you say to people that are still in school now? People that are still in school, people that are yet to graduate. And what will you say to them with respect to being intentional in the things they do? Because some of them, they don't even know the right career paths that they want to delve into right now. And I feel like delving into the right career path doesn't just come in a day. It doesn't jump to everybody in a day. Like you studied mechanical engineering, but here you are as a program manager. And then, okay, that's one. Second, what will you say to people that are already working, the working class people? What will you say to them about being intentional in the things they do, even if they're in love with what they're doing now, or they are not in love with it? So I think that's the two questions in one. And if anybody has any question, kindly ask now before or forever hold your peace. All right, so over to you.
Okay, so let me try to answer. So for people in school, there is a concept in project management called planning horizon. It basically means that in as much as you try to come up with a plan for a project, you
Okay.
can plan so much into the future because you don't even know what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. But with that stuff from planning, no, you make your plan, you set the I'm just in project management. You make your plan, right? And then, but you know that you're focused more on the immediate tasks. And then when you complete the immediate task, you may need to change some things about the order of events that you had planned before. Because
Okay.
based on that concept, you are not limited about events in the future. Why did I say that? It is fine if you don't know what you are going to do in the future. A lot of us did not know what we are going to do. A lot of us did not know that we will do what we are doing now. I don't know that such I wanted to do it for now. Like, to be very honest, but what is your front like? Take plans and goals, but the one that is right in front of you now, you need to even do something. What I tell my cousins in school is join and just join an organization that is trying to do something. It could be an NGO, it could be a third party. Join and be active. You will meet people. You would learn how to do a few things. Students always do things. They could do maybe an outreach. I met someone that at school raised a lot. When he was in SUG, they raised a lot of money. They
Yeah.
went. If you go into an interview and say those kind of things, they are going to look at you that okay. It's going to be different from somebody. Oh yeah, I went to school, I finished this. Please and please, don't allow your education, your academic to suffer. I'm just saying this is like something that will give you an edge. Hi Prebo is one of a lot of my guys are joining this call. Hi guys. Anyways, so that's for people in school. Find something to do apart from your academics must not suffer, but please beyond academics, do something. Learn a
Yeah.
skill or join. Do you know if you will need the skill in future or not? You may not know. But I don't
Yeah.
believe any knowledge. I don't believe there's any knowledge that ever goes to waste. I don't believe it.
Very true. Very true.
And finally, for those set of people, ask questions. Don't see people that have gone ahead of you. Older people always want to talk. But the younger ones never want to ask. There is this pride of I'm going to figure it out myself. It takes time. So if you want to shorten time, ask questions, take coaches from people that have gone ahead of you. Let them tell you what to do, what not to do. You don't necessarily have to follow what they have said, but it would broaden your horizon and give you a better perspective about life. And secondly, about people that are currently working. I got something in my notes that I did not get to. And it's about performance. And I believe performances are driven by two major things. One, KPI. One, perceived value. That's how I like to put it. Like sentimental importance. For example, HRM, Sunshine, your immediate boss now. Just imagine the person. If your organization is a bit structured, you have KPIs that are well documented, right? So you know that maybe quarterly or okay. I mentioned Detalium earlier. The CEO of Detalium just joined the call. Hi, Boardman. Thank you for joining. So I was saying, I'm talking about appraisals. Some organizations have quarterly appraisals, biannually and then yearly. So you have KPIs that have been agreed upon. However, there are certain things that are important to your boss, your immediate boss. If you need your KPI or not, it's a separate question. But for your boss to even be the one speaking about you or mentioning your name to knows, those things that are of sentimental value to your boss make it important to you too. Trust me, this is something that will always work for you. I'm going to give you an example. Imagine my boss reports directly to the CEO, and she's meant to have a call with the CEO tomorrow. What she needs to present is none of my business, to be honest. Because I have my own KPI, right? If I want to say KPI. But I think I can see that you are swamped. That presentation tomorrow, I've done a draft. I obviously I might not be able to do something that will be at your level, but I've
Yeah.
sent the draft to you. So you can just touch on it and then it's easier for you to get. You think if my appraiser is approaching and I'm not doing well, you think that boss will not come here and say, Olamide, you need to focus on this one. This one will affect your appraisal. This is what people working in organizations don't know. You may not enjoy where you are working right now. It may not even be where you want to work, but this is where you have found yourself right now. Please put in your best. Permit me to use Bode as an example. We were in training school together. But they said that I'm going to spend 2 years in Access Bank and I'm going to leave after 2 years. But then resigned the day that it was exactly 2 years. You can Google his name. His name is Bode Roberts. He's the CEO of Italian. Today it was exactly 2 years. That was the day Bode resigned. And he went like he's doing very well now. However, like when I follow him closely and I can see that most of the relationships and networks that he's leveraging on now, most of them were made maybe while in the bank or while we were in training school. But he knew that this is not what I want to do. But he could make the most of where he was at that time. This is how to work and this is how to do your best. That is like my 2 cents to. I hope with this little point of mine I've been able to convince and not confuse you. Please, whatever you don't remember anything. This is something that I preach. Please, wherever you are, just make sure you sow the seed of faithfulness. You will always repeat. It may
Yeah,
not be,
true.
but you will repeat. Do your best, even when nobody else is watching. Just do your best. It will come back to actually help you. Thank you very much. Hi, Rhoda. How are you?
Thank you so much, Olamide. Thank you so much for these wonderful insights. Thank you for your time. Can we say thank you, please? Where are your comments? Where are your smileys? Thank you so much. It was really an amazing time. I myself personally, I've I don't know if you noticed, but I was writing when you were speaking because no. This year, Sunshine, we have to be much more intentional. You have to do your best. You have to do all of that. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, sir. So everyone else, thank you. Thank you for joining in. 30 times 12 is a monthly initiative. It's always every month. So please kindly watch out on our social media platforms to check the next 30 times 12. This is April edition. So May edition is definitely going to come up. So kindly do well to always be on alert to check our social media handles for 30 times 12 series. And we also have a group where we post job opportunities. You can check that on my IG link. Is a link on my IG. You can check that in my IG bio rather. Where we post job opportunities. So if you're looking for a job or you have someone and you know someone that knows someone that's looking for a job, there is a WhatsApp group where we post job opportunities. You can get the link in my bio. Yes, thank you for following. All right, so thank you everyone again for tonight. I think we've taken 5 minutes extra of your time, and I know that it was definitely worth it, right? It was definitely worth it. So we're going to be ending the live now. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Rodar. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you, Cole Budman. Thank you, Tef, for Larry. Even though you're joining now, you'll catch up with the recordings anyway. So thank you everyone. Bye.